My good friend, Mr. Kurt Mortensen, on the line. He's going to be talking about the psychology. How do you think? How do you think that will make a huge difference in what you do? Well, it all starts up here. It all starts right there in your head. And if you have different strategies, you think differently, you think like other people that are very successful, because that's the number one thing to make more money is that you have to study successful people. And then you do what they do. Find out what they do, and then you do it. And then you'll be able to replicate what they've done. Maybe not as many zeros, but that doesn't matter. The goal is to make a huge difference. So if we got Kurt in the house, we're going to be our section 10 on the millionaire psychology. And it doesn't have to be millionaire, it could be $100 psychology, it could be $10 psychology, whatever you are, wherever you're at, it doesn't matter as long as you're moving forward. All right, let's see if we can bring Kurt on. I'll be right here.
All right, glad you're here. This is the Success and Money Foundation. You are supposed to be here. You're learning the skills, the tools, the techniques, things you should have learned a long time ago. But at least you're here learning them now, not only to bless your life, but other people's lives. Learn these skills as we talk about this millionaire psychology, this mindset. Hopefully, you did the homework from last time. We talked about, are you committed? Do you really want this? Is it just a dream, a mere wish? Or is it a burning desire? Can I wake you up in the middle of the night? You know exactly what you want. Can I talk you out of it? Well, if I can talk you out of it, you really don't want it. And that is one of the things we need to focus on. So glad you're here. Make sure you share this with your family, friends, your enemies. Help them be more successful here. Let's dive into millionaire psychology number 10. As we talk about the speed to wealth, taking that car to wealth, getting out of first gear, getting the emergency brake on, getting the right gas, the right GPS system, as we focus on some of the things that will make a huge difference. Remember, to become a millionaire, pretty simple. The formula: start thinking, acting, and doing what other millionaires do. And you can insert any goal you want there. If someone else has done it, you could probably do it too. Even if they haven't done it, maybe you can do it. So let me just review some of the things I've learned from my early mentors, Jim Rohn. Powerful personal development, author, trainer, speaker. I was doing some things with him, working for him, and he taught me some amazing things. But let me talk about a few of them. First one, we were all going out to dinner, hanging out after a big seminar, and somehow I was sitting across from Jim Rohn, and here's a person that's very successful. And I was just listening, enjoying my time, and then he looked at me and said, "Kurt." I'm like, oh, wow, he knows who I am. Kurt, tell me about your goals, your dreams, your aspirations. What is that you want to accomplish in life? Oh, and I knew. And I talked about a few of the things, and but it wasn't happening as fast as I wanted. My vehicle to success wasn't going very fast, so of course, wasn't my fault. A few people to blame along the way. I had to point some fingers, economy and this and that. And he stopped me. It's changed my life forever. Put everything into perspective when he said, Kurt, for things to change, you must change. And for things to get better, you must get better. Wow. Let me add a word to that. For your income to change, you must change. If your income to get better, you must get better. For your relationships to change, you must change. You fill in the blank there. It's a powerful thing. He also taught me delayed gratification. Do you want to spend a day at the beach or own a piece of the beach? We've talked about that. And of course, there's two options in life. You can either be disciplined or disappointed. Those are the things that make a big difference in what we do. So again, this is Millionaire Psychology number 10. But again, remember from last time, are you committed to your financial future? Are you committed to your success? Not a dream, not a wish, a commitment. Because when you're committed, motivation is easier. That's the key. But let's get into some of the things that you're focusing on. Let me just share something that I heard a while back, that dull knives work the hardest. What does that mean? I mean, really, dull knives work the hardest. I mean, look at it. That's what it means. Is that you're working hard doesn't mean that just because you're busy that you're doing things the right way. Maybe you're not focusing as much as you should. Maybe you need to spend time and sharpen the knife. We've talked about sharpening the axe. That's why you're here learning these things. Pat yourself on the back. It's no secret that top performers spend time sharpening their knives, sharpening their axe. They spend little time on things that don't matter, right? Is this an income producing activity? And they spend little time on their weaknesses. Like what? Basically, a lot of times when you're doing a side hustle or business, you want to do it all, and you're smart enough to do it all, but if you're not good at accounting, maybe find someone else that likes it, that's good at it. You focus on what you do best. Now, there is a time you have to do a little bit of everything, but as you start to grow and learn to focus on what you do best. You're not wasting your time, you're investing your time. What can you invest in for future growth, future potential? What does it mean in the future? That is the key. It's not just getting through it, getting through the day. You're not wasting time. You're investing your time in the critical things that are the most important things. And focus is an all-time low. We know that. Learning to focus, just sitting there and getting things done, focusing on the most important things, as we're going to talk about some tools to be able to do that. And look at your strengths. We talked about if it's your weakness, send it to someone else. Focus on what you do best. You focus on your strengths, what you do, and let other people do some of the other things. Again, I get it up front. You might be doing a little bit of everything. But again, if accounting is not your thing, doing taxes is not your thing, marketing is not your thing, find someone that can do it well, and you focus on what you do best. And one of the best ways to really help you focus on what's important, what's going to change your life, what's going to change the world, what's going to change your family, is understanding time management. And what time management does is it helps you achieve your goals. When you have clearly defined goals and you manage your time and you're working on the most important things, that makes a difference. Time management helps you eliminate distractions and minimize distractions. What's sucking the life out of you? Is it the pop-in? Is it the notification? Is it your cell phone? Is it the dinging? Is it somebody wanting you to watch a YouTube video? Is it fill in the blank? Let's talk about some tools to be able to do this. So time management. No one has enough time. Everyone wears that badge. I'm so busy. And they could be. I don't buy into it most of the time. Most workers in the United States said they could work a couple hours more a day if they really needed to. And this is working for somebody else. Entrepreneurs, hopefully, are managing their time a little bit better. And that's the thing you need to realize is that you can't accumulate time like money. So time's always more important than money. You could always get more money, but you can't get more time. I look at, I'm going to name names, someone in my family who's retired. Oh, they're so busy. And I'm like, wait a minute, you're retired. You've got all this time. But in their mind, they're busy, busy, busy. So remember, doesn't matter if you're wealthy or broke, you have the same amount of time. But then you get those excuses. Because think about this, if you waste 1 hour a day, and be honest with yourself, most waste more than this, but let's just say it's an hour a day. Studies are very clear. We're wasting a lot more time than this. We could accomplish a lot more. An hour a day is 15.2 days a year. In 10 years, that's 5 months of lost income, lost productivity, lost growth, whatever it is. Those are some things to think about. A little bit here, a little bit there. We don't think it matters. Going to work a little earlier, not getting stuck in the traffic, taking a different route, cutting out the fun but not important things in your life can all be part of this. So ask yourself, do you use these common excuses? If you need more time, you got to manage your time. If you don't have the time to do time management, hello, do you see the challenge there? That's when you need it the most. Well, planning doesn't work to me. You have to be spontaneous, and there's things that are happening, and fires I have to put out. Well, that's true. That does happen. You do have to be flexible, but planning works. What is it? If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Then we'll talk about ways to do that. Well, I feel tied down. Well, good. That means you're focusing on the most important things that you should be doing. I'm less creative. Yeah, I don't buy that one either. Because you can have spontaneity, be creative, and still manage your time. Well, I already know what I have to do. Hey, pilots, race car drivers, have a checklist. How often do they check it before they race, before they fly? Every time. Waiting for everything to be perfect. We've talked about that. Get all your ducks in a row. Then I'll do it. Then I'll manage my time. Remember our motto, ready, fire, aim. So which one are you doing? The biggest one, I don't have time to manage my time, is 72% gave this excuse. Not going to work. Remember, we all have the same amount of time. So here's the question, and will be part of your homework. Are you spending major time on minor things? Think about that. What are the areas that you're just wasting your time? The things that really just don't matter, that don't help the bottom line, that don't help your life, that don't help your health, your finances. What is your time going? And if you don't know, keep track. And what I mean by that is that you decide, 10, 15 minutes, write down what you were doing and put it into a spreadsheet. You can see, are you wasting time on emails? Are you wasting time on social media? Are you wasting time on fill in the blank? If you can keep track for a week and see, then you can get a better feel. If you're not sure what it is, most of you, it's just like you know exactly what it is. But if you're not sure, keep track, figure it out, and then once you know, you can change it. You can't change it unless you know about it. Are you stuck in the trap of doing the fun, fast things first? This was taught to me early on about, wait a minute. So it means when you start the day, what are the fun things? Check your stock or see your emails, your social media, what's fun, what's happening, what people are doing, where am I going to go to lunch? Let me check on this. That's not what you do first. There's so much technology now and apps that could really help you focus on the things that you need to. But just because it's fun and it's easy, cross it off your list, doesn't mean you should be doing it first thing in the day. And I just noticed when you wake up in the morning, just having a few victories right in the morning, you manage your time better, you're more motivated, more focused, and it can be so simple. What is it, the Air Force general says, just make your bed. If you just make your bed every day, it makes a huge difference. At first, I'm like, okay, whatever, but I started doing it. If you can do 10 push-ups, do you take a cold shower? Do you want to read for 30 minutes? Is it exercising? Is it walking for 30 minutes? Have a few victories in the morning. Just makes everything start to flow better, and you start to manage your time better because you've started off with victories. Next one, the Pareto principle. That old 80-20 rule. We see it everywhere. It pops up all the time. If you don't know it, basically, an Italian scientist came up with this, the Pareto principle, that basically 80% of the things, basically saying that 20% of the things we do give us 80% of the results. And vice versa. 80% of the things we do only give us 20% of the results. So you got to focus on that core 20% of what you're doing that's going to give you 80% of the results. That's proper time management. So here's the one thing to do if you're not sure where to start. What is the most important use of my time right now? Is this an income-producing activity? If it's too overwhelming, break it down. When I teach people how to write a book, that's overwhelming. They want to do it. Well, no, let's start with the title. Let's work on the table of contents. There's little things. So if these things are getting overwhelming, we've talked about breaking them down into smaller, manageable, bite-size pieces. And here's the thing, too. Don't start your day until it's finished on paper. Now, it could be an app. It could be online. It could be on your computer, just somewhere. It could be the night before. It could be the morning before. You have to map it out. Now, do be careful with this and make sure the most important things are making it on here. Because a lot of times we make a list, and it's fun to cross off. It's actually psychologically crossing things off is very helpful. It releases dopamine in your brain. We'd like to do that or delete it off a list, whatever you need to do. But just be careful here. Here's my only disclaimer are the most important things in your life making it on your list? Meaning, is it your family? Is it charity? Is it your God? What is the things that are the most important thing to you that you need to make sure make it on your list? And once you do this, you can start to prioritize. Put all the A's as most important, B's second, C's. Get to the A's first, prioritize that. That way, you're getting to the most important things first. So what are some tools? Let's talk about it. Learn to batch your tasks. What that means is you're only answering email once a day, responding to texts, listening to voicemail. Now it could be 2-3 times, whatever it is that you need to do, but you're batching your tasks. You're only doing the bills once a week or twice a month. So these tasks that are repetitive that you need to do all the time, you're putting it all together. So instead of a little bit every day and switching gears all the time 4 or 5 times a day, you might be doing it once or twice a day or once or twice a week. Learn to batch your tasks. And of course, monitor interruptions. You don't have to answer the cell phone, probably. If someone just comes into your office, stand up, don't let them sit down, close your door if you need to. You know, the email that dings, the phone that rings, the neighbor that sings, the text that pings. I don't know where I'm going with that, but be careful. Learn to focus. Because if you're in it, you're focusing and your email dings and you look at it, that takes you away. That's a waste of time. Or looking at your phone, put it away, monitor interruptions. You decide. You take more control of those interruptions and let people know you're not taking interruptions. You're not going to answer the cell phone call unless it's an emergency. Then you can multitask. Careful. I guess we need a disclaimer on this one too. A lot of science out there that we're really not as good as we think with multitasking, do 2 or 3 tasks, especially high mental function tasks. Now, if it's 2 simple tasks, I'm all for that. For example, you can exercise and listen to personal development programs. You could probably drive your car and follow up with people on your cell phone. So there's certain things that neither one take a lot of mental energy that you could probably do both. I'm okay with that. But if they're 2 intense activities, you're bouncing back and forth, be very careful of that. Deadlines. No deadline, it's not going to happen. So give yourself deadlines today and hold yourself to those. So you have these deadlines, cause you to focus more and get it done. And have a reward. Even like I mentioned, crossing it off the list is a reward, a little treat, a little snack, a little walk, a little soda, a little something, something. Whatever it is, give yourself a little reward. Even if it's a simple thing of crossing it off the list, chewing a piece of gum, taking a 5-minute break, it always works better with a reward. Reduce sleep time. I'm ducking here. You're probably throwing things at me. Yeah. Remember, day at the beach, just for a little bit, sacrifice a little sleep. Maybe. It's just temporary. Maybe you're sleeping too much. Maybe you aren't. Maybe you can't. Just something to think about. Decide where you are in this area. Exercise. I'm still ducking. I don't have time to exercise. Are you kidding me? Another one we've talked about. When we're talking about balance, exercise gives you more time. Think about it. Exercise gives you more time. Just like sharpening your saw, sharpening your axe gives you more time, exercise gives you more time. You sleep better, think better, have more energy, have a better attitude, attract better people, you eat better, you fill in the blank. It's like off the charts. You know that to be true. Figure it out, 20, 30 minutes a day, whatever you need to do. That's a great way to manage your time because you're going to get more done in less time. Even little things like the hotkeys on your computer can save you 20% time. So instead of going up to File and hitting Print and hitting OK, just hit Control P or whatever it is on your computer can save you a lot of time. So instead of spending the time learning what's called hotkeys, shortcuts, that can make a huge difference. When I use software that I have a lot of times I need to use my mouse for different things, I have a foot clicker, which is basically a mouse for my foot to where I can program it to do a hotkey or a task with my foot. That saves me a lot of times, especially on certain types of software that I use. And final one, I call it your block. What does that mean? So all humans have about a 4-hour block during every 24-hour period where cognitive, mentally, they're feeling the best, they're feeling the sharpest, they can accomplish the most. Some of you, it's morning time. Some it's afternoon. Some it's late afternoon. Sometimes it's evenings. For some of you, it's the middle of the night. Don't care. We're all different, but that's the time you're working on the major things that you need to get done. Now, it's not the time to answer emails or do the easy stuff. That's the time to do the big stuff. What is your block? Morning? Afternoon? Late afternoon? Evening? Middle of the night? You choose. We're all a little bit different here. Now, one thing that really holds people back is the ability to make decisions. The inability to make decisions is a major cause of failure, or a major cause of poor time management, where you're thinking about it for so long. I mean, take real estate, for example. That's a great deal. Let me think about it. Someone's going to get it. Someone's going to come along and take it. Successful people make quicker decisions. They do. We know that to be true. And the science is pretty interesting here that the success rate of a slow decision and fast decision are about the same. Successful people are quick decision makers. They make it happen. I'm not saying they're right 100% of the time, but slow decisions aren't right 100% of the time either. You're just quicker. You're not wasting time. You're not hemming and hawing. What if? What about this? You decide, you look at the numbers, you follow your heart, and you make it happen. Making quicker, faster, and even sometimes better decisions. Reach those decisions quickly. Again, I'm not saying don't do any research, but quit wasting your time going back and forth, trying to put all your ducks in a row. Learn how to do that. Indecision destroys purpose. Indecision destroys time management. Indecision sucks the life out of you. Where should I stop? And a lot of your regret in life comes from indecision, not doing it, or the FOMO, the fear of missing out of, oh, not getting into this stock, or not getting into the internet soon enough, or not doing this. Start making quicker, better, faster decisions. That is a big key to time management because you're wasting a lot of time thinking too long about making a decision in your life. So decide to decide. You're going to do this. You're committed. You're going to make it happen. It's not a dream. It's a wish. You're ready to do this. Other people can do it. You've got this. You can do this. You can manage your time better. We all have the same amount of time. So as we talk about this homework and things you need to be doing, remember the example. I'm assuming you've seen it. If not, look it up. You have a big jar. You have a thing of rocks, a thing of sand, and some water. And they wanted to get all in the jar at the same time. And it's tough. You know, you pour the sand and you pour the water and you try to fit the rocks in. You try them different ways. But no, it just doesn't fit. It doesn't work unless you put the rocks in first. Those are the most important things first. Then you pour in the sand that goes in between the rocks, the next important things, and the water. If you do it in that order, it fits. Any other order, it does not fit. So what are your rocks, the most important things? So let's talk about this homework. You've got this. You can do this. The first question is this. How are you managing your time? Are you giving me all the same amount of time? How can you accomplish 10 times more in half the amount of time? There's certain things you can do. What is it about managing your time that you need to improve, that you need to work on, that you need to change? What can you do to accomplish an hour more every day? What is that one thing you need to change that's a waste of time? It might be fun, but hey, fun's for later. I don't want to spend a day at the beach. I want to own a piece of the beach. That is for later. What can you delay? How can you manage your time a little bit better? Number 2, what minor thing is taking major time? What is that one thing that you're spending a lot of time on? It's just not giving you the results that you want. When you're spending major time on minor things, that alone can make a big difference in what you're able to accomplish and what you're able to do. What's the bottleneck in your life? You're like, bottleneck? Yeah. You ever heard that term before? Yep, you're the bottleneck. What's the bottleneck? What that means is if I had a bucket of water, I could just pour it all out. It would dump right out. Like a soda bottle or Coke bottle has that bottleneck that restricts the flow. So as you pour it out, that bottleneck, it takes forever to pour out a soda or that type of a bottle than a whole bucket. You want to be the bucket, no bottleneck. That's what's holding you back. That's what's spending major time on minor things. That's what you're focusing on. So what's your bottleneck? So work on the homework, do this, make it happen, accomplish more. Don't wear the badge like, oh, I'm so busy. Well, sure, but you can accomplish more. You can do a little bit more, a little bit here, a little bit there, free up an hour here, a couple hours here. You can delegate here, change this, do this. Be more aware of your time. You can be busy, even the ants are busy. Are they accomplishing anything? Probably. But activity does not mean accomplishment. Did you catch that? Just because you're busy does not mean you're accomplishing your goals. So focus on the accomplishment. Do what you need to do. Manage your time. Focus on the things. Those big rocks are the most important. And that'll make the big difference for you. Make it happen. Do the homework. I'll see you on the next section. And go out and make the world a better place.
Thanks, Kurt. It's wonderful having Kurt in our world, and he makes such a huge difference in so many people's lives. Thanks for watching, everybody. We're going to be right back.